Sorry, Sparky. We're going to just rest up a little. Unless you want to take the wheel. Settle down, everybody. Settle down. Settle down. Eyes on the board. Eyes on the board. Eyes on the board. Okay. 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 Eyes on the board. Right. We've got a joke to explain, so let's get on with that. Let's see now. Tra-la-la. Okay. That bit. Right. So, I'll take the wheel. Thank you. Thank you, Sparky. Right. The dear Karamba has submitted a joke here to be explained. Okay, now I want to know what that joke was. To be honest, from memory. I tried a Wookiee burger the other day. It was okay, but a bit chewy. That was the joke. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just the previous joke explained. You can go back and make sense of it later. Right. Karamba has a joke, and it goes as follows. I asked the librarian, puts the joke in a setting that, excuse me, oh, hang on, no, I'm fine. I asked the librarian if he knew of any authors who wrote dinosaur novels. She said, Triceratops. Oh, I've blown it, Karamba, I've blown it. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Occasionally, coughing will trigger a bout of the hiccups. This bout of the hiccups will be... Hang on. I'm gonna hold my breath. Hang on. I know it doesn't look like I'm hiccuping, but... hang on. I'm gonna hold my breath. Because sometimes that helps. Have they gone? I love that's the thing. That's the thing about us humans, of whom I am one. When we get hiccups, and we're trying to get rid of the hiccups, we'll do a thing. And not every time, not everybody does this, but a lot of people do this. They'll go, have they gone? As if somehow the hiccups were manifesting a large zit on their forehead. But, yeah, we don't know. You tell us, love. You tell us. I asked the librarian if she knew of any authors who wrote dinosaur novels. She said Triceratops. Yes. So let's... I'm going to put the name up first. So we've got this fictional author who only exists for the purpose of the joke. Sarah... Tops. Yes. Now, library. I think we've explained what a library is on a previous joke explanation. But essentially, we're getting. I'm going to ignore that. We're getting interdicted. Of course, I am wanted. It'll be fine. Hang on. Can we just get the capture audio in? Oh, I think it already was in. That's interesting. And the desktop audio. Desktop audio shouldn't be on. Oh dear. Okay. We might not be able to put this on YouTube. You've got no cargo. Yeah. It's just whether I was wanted and whether they were the fuzz. Right. So. Essentially, a lending library is an organisation that is set up which stores lots of books and lends them out to people, usually for free. So you can just rock up, say hello. Now, not always. The British Library, you can't get a book out of the British Library. No, sir. But you can go there and read books from the British Library. But yeah, most libraries are lending libraries. So libraries that you go and you say, right, I'll have that. And then you can have like 28-day loan of a book, read it in that time, bring it back. So that's what a library is. And then somebody who works at a library is known as a librarian. And in this particular joke, a librarian is asked by, in this instance, Caramba, for any authors who wrote dinosaur novels. Now, a novel is a long-form work of fiction. There's a lot of dispute about what the first novel is, but I think it's widely regarded to be quite boring. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Why can't I think of what I want to say Don Quixote, but Don Quixote was a parody of a novel, so I don't think it could be Don Quixote. Anyway, first joke explanation death. No, we have had one. We have had one before. Yes. Now, dinosaurs can be about have a genre. Now, a genre is quite a woolly notion. A genre is something that exists somewhere between the audience, the text, and the reader. And who creates the genre? It's difficult. Film noir, for instance, was only. I can hear any film student in the audience now groaning. But yes, film noir exists very much as a genre. It's a very defined characteristics as a genre, but nobody thought of it as a genre at the time. Film noir essentially emerged as an economic thing. This is back in the day where you go and see an A picture that would be supported by a B picture, i.e. a lower budget version. And because films were made largely in the studio system, so Universal, MGM, shooting on their own lots in their own studios, having total control of the pictures. Their own stars, very buttoned down sort of system that we had back then in the era of the film noir. So what they'd do is they'd want to make another film as cheaply as possible to be the B picture, because you generally have double bills back in those days. And to save money, they would basically shoot the B picture on the same sound stages in the same sets that A pictures were being filmed on. And to disguise this, they'd basically have lower lighting. And because of them dealing with lower lighting, they tended to push towards German expressionist cinema, really. So it'd be a quite dramatic, slightly unreal lighting system, lots of sideways lights, lots of light being thrown through lattices and whatnot. And very sort of pulpy, very, very pulpy kind of... Osric, welcome. Plot lines as well, because there's a sort of a sense of just cranking them out. Ish. And, And also, because they were sort of throwaway, there's a suggestion as well that they kind of give a more honest opinion about the psyche of usually men of that era. So the sort of archetypes, the idea of masculinity, the idea of women, sort of almost unfiltered, because there was, I guess, less control or less thought that went into them. It's almost like a filmic version of a Freudian slip. Yeah, but as I say, they weren't described as film noir at the time. It was only Cahiers du Cinéma, the famous French cineast journal, who in retrospect noted that these films shared characteristics and essentially were a genre in their own right, that this term film noir, which is why film noir indeed is French, it's a French term for essentially a product of Hollywood. Yes, so, genre isn't... You can work in a genre without even realising that you're working in a genre, is my point. So it's sort of where there isn't a fixed point within that triangle of text, artist, and audience that is sort of in charge of genre. You have to kind of look at it as a whole and take it from wherever it comes. So does that explain your... No, it doesn't. Right. But this isn't about film noir. This isn't about film genre. This is about a genre of a novel. A novel featuring dinosaurs. Well, what do we mean by dinosaurs? Okay, let's rub out the library. Oh, I've come over all Tory. And, millions of years ago, the Earth was ruled by gigantic lizards. Well, not lizards, really, were they? They were birds. Hello. Yeah, great big, massive birds that we thought for a long time were lizards. But yeah, they're basically birds. And look how big this is. This is the size of a double-decker bus. I'm making this up. I've got no idea about scale here. But yeah, they were big lads, is the point. I knew that guy, Jack. How do you know Grandpa Johnny? Well, I'd have to talk to Grandpa Johnny to check that it was okay with him before I tell you, without going into too much detail. So you get all sorts of different dinosaurs. The T-Rex, for instance. Tyrannosaurus Rex, you'd get the Velociraptor. Velociraptors were tiny little things. That's the Velociraptor right there. Actually, I might have made that a bit big. And yes, one of the other dinosaurs, much loved, I think possibly my favourite dinosaur, which I'm going to have a real struggle with drawing, is the Triceratops. This Triceratops is slightly alarmed and upset. But hang on, how does the rest of the head go? I can't remember. Oh, something like that. The Triceratops is upset because someone just reminded it that it's extinct. Very cruel. Looks like a bull. Very overweight bull. Yeah, I don't know how a Triceratops... Let's do a long tail. That's better. Right. So this here, roughly, is a Triceratops. Okay, that's a particular type of dinosaur. So if we go back and look at our original joke, I asked the librarian if she knew of any authors who wrote dinosaur novels. She said, Triceratops, you see. Triceratops, which sounds like Triceratops, you see. It's a slight different emphasis, but yes, there's enough similarity there for it to work. Uncle Steve is always worried about the fact he's due in extinction court, and he's up before the beak. See, Tianus? See what I did there? He's up before the beak. Quality. Yes, and as we've discussed many times, if something exists, something is sitting in a joke that is essentially saying two different things at once, it's funny. It's just a funny thing. That's just the science of it. It's funny. And here we are. That joke is true. So we've got Triceratops, and of course Triceratops is a type of dinosaur, the very subject of the novel for which the Karamba is seeking. So, Karamba, have I explained this joke to your satisfaction, do you think? I realise I don't get it. Can you explain your beak joke? Not right now. Can you tell me about film noir again? Right, so basically in the late 40s and early 50s, cinema basically involved... yes. Oh, right, okay, sorry. I was going to totally do that. I could have done that longer. If I was funny, I'd have done that longer. Joke explained then. Let's get back to the game. Oh, and it worked as well. Worked, everyone.